climate change. World food issues, immigration, sustainable economic growth, identity in a globalized world, how to innovate and run your business in a digitalized environment, how to thrive in this interconnected society facing an uncertain future. These are some of the issues many people have been increasingly grappling with. They are all rooted in the complexity of our societies. Many of our daily problems can be called complex. Many of our opportunities emerge in a complex context. To cope with this increased complexity requires a new way of looking at things, another paradigm than the traditional one of prediction, planning and control, a new attitude. Social complexity emerges from the fact that society comprises a great number of very diverse interacting individuals who also respond to their environment. Complex problems involve many stakeholders and numerous causal factors, all interacting with each other. Complex problems cannot be solved with the traditional approaches to planning and control alone. People have to act in complex societies facing an uncertain future. Progress, development and success require us to be able to embrace complexity and uncertainty. We cannot know now what will be discovered in the future. Future society is not waiting to be discovered, but is created through human interaction, driven by our imagination. Lex Houghton is Professor of Complexity and Uncertainty at the University of Groningen in the Netherlands and main founder of GloComNet, the Global Complexity Network. GloComNet aims to help people to be effective in whatever they pursue, to help people to address complex problems. For that purpose, GloComNet has developed FALC, a framework for acting under certainty and complexity. It is based on TIE, a scientific theory of human action and interaction. Why do we need another paradigm?
People often act as if the world is simple. People often try to solve problems as if they are simple problems. But in many cases, the world is complex and problems are complex because they are the result of people interacting with each other. We have a globalized world, we have digitization, which means interaction. And the interaction itself is an important determinant of the outcome of all actions. If we take into account the existence of complexity and uncertainty, we base ourselves on another paradigm. If we don't do that, we are not sufficiently prepared for the uncertain and complex world. We are vulnerable, so we do need another paradigm in this complex and uncertain world.
Professor Houghton, what is TIE?
The alternative paradigm builds on modern complexity science as it has developed since the 1980s. But perhaps more importantly, it also takes into account and builds on economic science of the 1930s, going back 80 years. Because over the past 80 years, economic science has moved in a direction where it does not take into account uncertainty and complexity. These elements together are the basis for the theory of human action and interaction, which fully takes into account complexity and uncertainty. On the basis of these elements, we have built a model of the acting agents, the Homo agens, and that model is the basis for all the work that we do in this context.
What are the main insights from TIE?
TIE offers a lot of insights that you can use to really act in the complex and uncertain world. The two most important insights I would think are firstly that you will always be surprised, whatever you do. And that can be positively and negatively. And secondly, that complex issues, complex questions cannot be solved on paper, cannot be solved by just writing a report. You have to act and learn from what you do.
Rick Bearbe is a management consultant and practitioner in the field of organizational development. As co-founder of GloComNet, he explains FALC, the foundation for the framework that helps people to act effectively under uncertainty and complexity. In other words, TIE in daily practice. One of the most important activities of Bearbe is to apply FALC in organizations and cities. We asked Mr. Bearbe, How can we use TIE in real life?
We discovered we need something very practical for people dealing with complexity and uncertainty. A framework on top of TIE, a framework which is not explaining complexity and uncertainty, but helping you to deal with it. And we call it the framework for acting under uncertainty and complexity, the FAUC. And it helps organizations to be fit, to be effective.
What does FAUC look like?
The FAUC is a virtual fitness room to train and learn the capacities needed to deal effectively with complexity and uncertainty. It is for board of directors, management teams, city planners, program managers, or whatever group of people need it. You could even ask a football team.
Can you tell me more about the 5 capacities?
So the fundament for the FAUC are 5 capacities, which are derived from the theory of human action and interaction, the TIE. And to shape these capacities, we use the insights from TIE. For instance, there will always be surprises, positive and negative, or people make mistakes, or the future cannot be predicted, however we can imagine it. And you cannot act on complete knowledge. And the homo agens plays a very important role.
How can we apply FAUC in practice?
We developed the FAUC assessment, which is based on the 5 capacities and using 150 different indicators. It took us 6 months to develop the appropriate language and designed the questions that matter. And it enables you to see an organization or any social system through a different lens, the complexity lens. And the FAUC assessment is the equipment for the virtual fitness room.
What are the results of a FAUC assessment?
The FAUC assessment makes a group of people aware about the weak spots in any social system. It enables people to collectively find insights, conclusions and actions. Actually, the assessment is a starting point for action.
Are there other possible applications of FAUC?
There are numerous applications. Right now we are working on a serious play, which is a quick scan and a team exercise. And it's combining fun and learning. It's a stepstone for the more extensive FAUC assessment.